that far across that we'd pop into Poland. Amy had originally gone through to the place where our great-grandparents got married. It's about half an hour's drive out of Gdansk. I can't remember the name of the place, but we decided there we would like to go to Poland and go there, which is what we did. So we flew into Warsaw and drove up to Gdansk, and then we went out to the village, very small village. I would think if it had 100 houses, I'd be surprised. We went to the church, and after knocking on a couple of the doors, we found the third door which opened. We wandered into the church. There was an old lady who was cleaning, and fortunately I had my Kreft history document with me, and I asked if we could go in, have a look. She couldn't speak English, we couldn't speak Polish, but having said that, I indicated to her that part of our family was from this area, showed her the document which included a photograph of Mum and her siblings, and she recognised the name Kreft and she started crying. And long story short, we found out that she was a Kreft. But the conversations were a bit poor because, as I said, we couldn't speak Polish. We spent we had a good look around the church and around the adjoining land of the church, which includes a cemetery. There were a number of Krefts buried there. We subsequently wandered through the village and came across a guy who could speak pidgin English. We had a discussion with him about it, and he confirmed that the lady that we had met was a Kreft, and therefore one would think probably related but unusual. And whilst we were still there, we went to the actual cemetery itself and found out that there were quite a number of, I guess, our predecessors were buried there. It was quite inspiring. It was totally blew me away to the extent that we go that far, right across the world, and we run into potentially a relative of ours in the town where our great-grandparents got married. So yeah, it was neat. We stayed in Gdansk, which is getting off the topic a bit, but that was amazing. There were a tremendous number of churches there. We'd gone into a couple, one in particular, and there were photographs in there which showed what Gdansk and the area of this church was like in 1945, absolutely obliterated. But you wouldn't know it. This church had been totally restored as it stood prior to, I guess, 1939, say, at the start of the war. Amazing, and the town was like that. There were certainly some new areas, but a lot of the areas were reinstated and mind-blowing. And the same in Warsaw, where we'd flown into and flew out of. And just the amount of restoration work was tremendous. But you could see the history of the war. There's a massive war memorial in Gdansk which reinforces that. But what we found interesting is that we were told before we go there that you'll struggle with the language. We didn't. Yeah, certainly, well, obviously the odd occasion we did. But for going to shops and to hotels or whatever, we had no trouble. They spoke English, so that made our trip so much easier.
Great, thank you.